Hello today. Welcome to the greatest year in music history, the only podcast about the greatest year in music history. I'm John.
And I'm Jen. And if you're new here, we're currently discussing the second greatest year in music history, which is 1995.
That's right.
Yeah. We're still breaking down one album per episode. And today's episode is all about Better Than Ezra's album, Deluxe.
Let's get into it.
Yeah. So where did you first hear this?
Had to have been the radio.
Okay.
It's giving me major C101 vibes.
Shout out C101. Don't even know if they're still around.
I imagine they're still around.
Yeah.
Who knows?
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it was definitely in the car on the radio.
Mm-hmm.
Not really big on MTV. And I didn't have the CD or anything. Mm-hmm. So it's kind of just hearing them in passing, I think, in the radio. What about you?
Yeah, I'd have to agree. I feel like the radio, but also fun story. I don't know if you know this. You might know this.
Okay.
Shout out to my cousin Melanie, who Better Than Ezra was her number one favorite. But you know how...
There's no one better for her.
Whoa. This is true.
Okay.
Not Ezra. Well, they are better than... If there were a band Ezra...
Yes.
Better Than Ezra would be better than them. But anyway, you know how I have Deftones?
I do.
Better Than Ezra was her Deftones.
Okay.
Yeah. Obsessed to the nth degree. And speaking of, they're a good, like, in the car radio band. One time she told us this story that she was driving her in a car. She was in the car, but she was in the passenger seat. And she was 5 years older than me, or 6 years older than me, or is 6 years older than me. Mm-hmm. But her mom was driving at the time, even though I think she already had her permit or driver's license.
Sure.
And that they're just driving down the street. Her mom is the one physically driving. And the radio is barely on. And all of a sudden, she can kind of hear a Better Than Ezra song come on the radio.
Oh, yeah.
And she goes to reach for the volume knob to turn it up, because this is her favorite band. In the reaching, she goes, like, it's my favorite band. Oh my God. Well,
wow.
She said her mom, my aunt, hears that gasp, flies off the side of the road.
You hate to see that happen.
And then they finally land in a ditch. And she's like, what just happened, Mom? And then my aunt was like, I don't know. You tell me. You're the one that gasped and caused me to...
Wow. Unbelievable. That's one of my worst fears.
Yeah.
It's one of my top 5 fears.
Yeah.
Is your gasp causes me
I know.
to drive off the side of a mountain.
I would accidentally do that over a song.
That's true.
Sorry. Anyway, moving on. That's where I heard them. And so, yes, I probably first heard them on the radio, but then I heard a lot of them because I hung out with my cousin Melanie a lot, and she played them a lot.
Sure.
Because she loved them. But yeah. So...
What did you think of it listening to it now?
I love it. Oh my God.
It's good. It's pretty good.
Yeah. I love them.
Okay.
The thing to me about Better Than Ezra is that they're like the quintessential 90s alt.
It's very 90s.
Just the definition. If somebody Googled or asked ChatGPT, like, describe 90s alt, Better Than Ezra would be like top of the list.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah, they have a certain sound that's kind of hard to put your finger on, but very 90s.
Yeah.
And the vocals have an interesting sound that's kind of not like many others, although the more I was listening to it this time around, the more I was getting some Toadies vibes.
Yeah.
Similar kind of vocal thing they got going on. But yeah, I had never heard this start to finish.
Okay.
I didn't have the CD.
Yeah.
It was really only the couple songs on the radio, you know, growing up. And I still think it's really good. I mean, I think there's some that are less than... trying to make a better than joke, but actually, quick sidebar, can I tell one of my favorite Weekend Update Norm Macdonald era jokes.
Do it. Go.
Okay. He says like it's something about so-and-so released the greatest bands of the year or whatever, the top selling whatever. Mm-hmm. Number 1 was Better Than Ezra. Number 2 was Ezra. Which is that's a Norm Macdonald humor in a nutshell. Mm-hmm. But so the singles still hit really hard. Mm-hmm. And I really liked a few of the other ones that came on too.
Yeah.
So that was a good surprise. I didn't know what to expect.
Yeah. But I mean, I guess I had heard the full album a long time ago, but it's been a while since I had heard the whole thing, so it felt new-ish, other than the 3 singles that were supposedly released to the whole world, but I don't know if 2 out of the 3 were as big as Good was.
I don't think so.
No.
But the first one...
In the Blood.
The first song on the record, too. Right? That's the first song on the record, I think, right?
Yeah.
Just such an amazing opener.
A straight banger first track. Yeah.
Which you got to have a good first track. Mm-hmm. We talked about that in some previous episodes where the first song sounds like it should be a track 8. Uh-huh. And you're like, who arranged this? What's going on?
I know.
You know?
Yeah. Oh, God. It's so good. I can hear it in my head. But yeah, or maybe let's just play it here. See, I'm telling you, I love it.
So good. Mm-hmm. Okay, I have to stop doing that. I really like also how it's just a great 3-piece alt rock pop band.
I know.
No frills.
No.
Though they started out as a 4-piece.
I know.
R.I.P.
Yeah. They lost their lead guitarist.
Yeah, I think in 1990.
1990. So they started in 1988.
Right.
Didn't even realize that. And then in 1990, they lost their guitarist, and then they took a hiatus, and then they remained a 3-piece for a long time. Mm-hmm. Yeah. But so this album, we found out, technically came out in 93 on a lesser known record label. Oh, their own label.
It was like a self-released thing.
Okay.
And they're from Louisiana, so... Yeah. But then it got enough circulation somehow to where, major labels were kind of fighting over them, and then re-released it to us.
That's awesome.
In 95.
Yeah. Yeah. So it still counts for the second greatest year in music history.
There you go.
Just saying. So still rules. Would you call it a no-skip album?
No.
Oh.
No, the back half doesn't do much for me.
Yeah. I hear you.
It slows down. There's a lot of acoustic.
Yeah.
I really like their sound, but those slower songs just didn't really do it for me. What about you?
So I have to say, and you kind of alluded to this earlier, it's not that. So I wouldn't skip any, but I do love more. I do love other songs more than others.
Right.
Some songs are better than.
Sure. We'll fix it in post. It's fine.
And so I don't know if I would skip through any. It's just a feel-good album to me. I feel like I could leave it on and not hate any song. First, let's just answer this now.
Sure.
Was it overplayed for you?
I think Good was. A little bit.
What?
It was just on the radio so much. Though speaking of it on the radio.
How dare you?
I was only a car radio person. I didn't really, I was more CDs in my room. Okay. But I do think I agree that I wouldn't really skip much if I had this on while driving.
Okay.
Like if we were just driving out of town on a road trip, whatever, and we were like, oh, let's listen to Better Than Ezra, I wouldn't be like, okay, well, let's definitely skip song X, Y, and Z, et cetera, et cetera.
Okay.
It's really good drive time music.
I'm telling you, it's feel good.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's awesome. Do you have a favorite song or guitar part or lyric?
Well, as far as favorite songs, I mean, really the 3 singles, are the best. So In the Blood, good, Rosalia.
Yeah.
However, I do really love the guitar part that it's featured throughout the whole song, but it's in the intro of, it's called Teenager. Mm-hmm. And it's just this really, I don't know if jangly is the right word.
Okay, yeah.
It's this jangly little riff. It I don't know how to explain it. Much smarter people could explain the Les Paul guitar sound. It just sounds like that 90s era Les Paul sound. I don't know. I can't put my finger on what that means. But it's one of the best guitars ever made. It's just so that quintessential sound like you mentioned earlier.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
I also like the song Summer House.
Oh, okay.
I was also getting some Toadies vibes there. Mm-hmm. Kind of made me listen to Toadies.
Yeah.
Which is, is that a pro or a con that one band says, ooh, I like this, I should go listen to this other band. But anyway. But yeah, what about you? Favorite songs or lyrics or anything?
Yeah. Agreed. I love the 3 singles. Honestly, good is number 3 out of the 3. I love In the Blood so much.
Interesting. Okay.
I love Rosalia probably a little bit second.
Sure. Just the like Tejano part at the end though, right?
Just that part.
Okay, good.
See, it's so feel good. I love it.
Yeah.
And then I have to say, re-listening to this album in its entirety, I really loved Southern Girl.
Okay.
That song gets stuck in my head more the past few days that I've been listening to it than any of the others.
Nice. I love that. I love when that happens.
Oh, it's so good.
Did you hear the like weird industrial secret track?
No.
So on the last song, it's another feel good kind of thing, whatever outro, and then fades out. And then a couple minutes later, there's like this heavy industrial kind of parody song that plays.
Oh.
And there's a lot of yelling. And it sounds industrial, not like a stabbing westward industrial, but more like almost like a Typo Negative style, like the slow droning industrial. It's really good.
Okay.
And it's also just funny that you listen to this feel good album and then there's this weird secret track again with a lot of yelling, a lot of crash cymbals, and like it's just funny.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Dang.
I don't know if it has its own name.
Okay.
I'm sure it does. I didn't see that listed on like Spotify or anything.
Okay.
But you should check it out.
Okay. All right. I have to check it out. I'm so pumped. Did we see them live?
I don't think so.
No, we did.
We did?
Yeah.
Okay.
We saw them in College Station together.
Oh, wow. I mean, to be fair, that was 20 some odd years ago.
I know.
College Station with whom?
I have no idea.
Or where even? Wow.
Well, it wasn't Hurricane Harry's.
Shout out to Hurricane Harry's.
Where was it?
Is that place still around, I wonder?
I don't remember where it was. Like, I can picture it, but I don't remember the name of it.
Sure.
But yeah.
Do you remember, like, who else played? Was it like a mini...
No.
They just toured college towns?
Probably.
Okay.
I think so.
I'm sure they fared well in college towns.
I think so. Yeah. But yeah, we saw them. I was gonna.
Okay, I did not remember that.
Yep.
That's okay.
I was saving it for the pod.
That's great.
Yeah, we saw them, and it was while I was there. So
it was the early 2000s. The Bush administration.
The Bush administration. Yeah. So a long time ago, but they were good. I remember you were like, oh, that band. All right, I'll go. And then at the end of the night, you were like, that was cool.
I got a tattoo on my neck.
Now he has a tattoo of, y'all can't see it, but it's there.
It's a greater than sign that says Ezra. Which, so I was looking it up, and they've never publicly said
I know
much about the name. However, there is, I guess, evidence, or it's just known, that I think the original lead guitarist who passed away had a relative or a grandpa or someone named Ezra.
Yeah.
Which, that's kind of, I mean, how's that not it's not a coincidence.
Right. I love that name.
The name's fantastic.
Yeah. I would have named, if we didn't name our dog Inez, I would love Ezra.
Okay.
For her, but she's very much an Inez.
Her name's Inez.
Right.
Yeah.
But yeah, I was reading that. I was dying to know where they got their name.
Yeah.
But then they said, did you already say this? And did I black out 10 seconds ago that it was a character in a book?
Oh, I didn't see that.
Yeah.
Okay.
There's a line in the book. Oh, what was the title of it? Let me just look it up. And in the line in the book is like something better than Ezra, obviously.
Okay.
Yeah. I butchered that, but just believe me.
Sure. I believe you.
Earth Abides.
Okay.
Is the name of the book. Mm-hmm.
Pick that up at your local indie bookstore.
Yeah.
Or check your local library.
Yeah. Should we talk about their music videos?
Yeah. So the 3 singles have one.
Yep.
Each have one. Mm-hmm. And surprisingly hard to track down. Better Than Ezra does not have a strong YouTube presence from what I was able to find.
Yeah.
But we did watch some in low, I think 480p quality, but that's okay. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. But yeah, let's get into it.
Yeah, so the video for Good was, I think 420p, so the quality was not there. But very abstract, very colorful, very 90s.
I had no idea what was going on.
No, all over the place, but I don't care. I love it.
There's a man running and he drops his briefcase.
And the briefcase falls, and there's stoplights or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But then it cuts to, or inner cuts between random happenings and then the band playing live, which is always good to see.
Yeah.
Because just any of the mid-90s fashion of dudes in bands with oversized single color shirts with a pocket.
Yeah.
And acid wash jeans.
Yeah.
And they're Les Pauls.
Yeah.
It's just good. Now, I'm trying to remember because they kind of bled together. I think for In the Blood, that was the black and white one.
Yeah.
So that one, when they cut to the band, sometimes the band is playing with their backs to the camera. Mm-hmm. And so it was really funny to see the drummer just like going hard, but he's like in a corner. I
know. Very abstract. There's hidden meaning all up in that video, and I don't know what it is.
I'm sure all of them, but it was way over my head.
Yeah. I love that video, but it's super, like, I don't know, just abstract. And
yeah, I do love a 90s black and white video.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I imagine it stood out because everything in the 90s was so colorful in your face.
Vivid,
exactly. Mm-hmm. So it's almost like you don't change the channel because something comes on where you're like, ooh, what's this? It's black and white.
Yeah. Agreed. And then the video for Rosalia is not quite black and white. It's
like a sepia.
Yeah, it's a sepia moment. And it's good. I didn't follow the story. I don't know if you...
I don't know if there were stories.
Okay, got it.
In my opinion.
Got it.
At one point, there's like a man in a suit and a small child. Mm-hmm. And they're in like a ditch or a empty, like dilapidated lot or something.
Yeah.
And then there's a woman
in
fake
a sheet.
Flying, and she has a sheet, and then she's in Times Square. Mm-hmm. And it really looked like Times Square. So
I think so. I think it was.
Yeah, that's good for them.
Yeah. I never saw any of these on actual TV.
No.
I've only seen In the Blood on YouTube.
Right.
By chance a few years ago.
Yeah.
And that's how I knew that one existed, and I really liked it.
Yeah.
But I never saw them on MTV or VH1 or anything.
No.
Mm-mm.
I don't think they had that presence.
No.
Unfortunately.
Yeah, because I feel like they were as good, if not better than.
Wow.
Should we wrap it up? Should we call it? Yeah. Thanks everyone for listening.
The pod's done. That's it. We're good.
So I feel like they were just as good, if not better than Third Eye Blind, Tonic.
Whoa.
Toadies.
Okay, hold on.
No.
Well.
What?
Okay.
I mean.
No, I hear what you're saying.
As good.
I hear what you're saying.
You know?
What's funny though, and I keep bringing up Toadies, I feel like Toadies similarly, because they didn't have a huge MTV presence, they didn't blow up nearly as big as a Third Eye Blind did, because Third Eye Blind has these like kind of
catchy,
iconic music videos.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But I've always thought that Toadies could have been bigger than they were.
100%.
You know, they were
100%.
They were huge in Texas.
Yeah, I feel like when we would listen to them growing up, and they were played on the radio constantly, nonstop.
Yeah.
And I didn't realize until leaving Texas that they were really only big in Texas.
In Texas, I know. It was me. I was calling the radio station a lot.
That's true.
Requesting it.
Yeah. Again, C101, shout out to K-Rad.
K-Rad, oh.
But Better Than Ezra is a C101 band. They're not a K-Rad band. In my opinion.
Yeah, I guess.
K-Rad would play the harder stuff.
Oh, okay. Okay, yeah. I see what you're saying.
They were edgy.
Yeah.
At the time.
Yeah. Is this their best album?
Sure.
Do you know their other stuff?
No, but I did go through and listen to, which is probably not the best gauge, but I do like to go through these 90s bands' discographies and see if they have any songs that Spotify says have like 10 million plays or something.
Right.
Because then you hear it and you go, oh yeah, that was in a movie or that was on a soundtrack or whatever.
Right.
But I had forgotten about the song Desperately Wanting.
Uh-huh.
Well, not forgotten about it because obviously I knew it, but I was almost like I assumed it was just on this record.
Oh.
And it never played.
Yeah.
After listening a couple times. So then I went to, I had to go listen to it. I had to go seek it out.
Yeah.
And that's a great song. And then that album came out the next year.
I know. Yeah. So I was going to bring that up. I haven't listened to the rest of their discography, which is 9 albums, people, if you're listening.
Crazy. Including one last year.
9. That's so many. But anyway, Friction Baby was their album that came out after Deluxe in 96, and it had Desperately Wanting. And it also had a little song called Long Lost.
Okay. She Needs a Minute.
Knock me out.
And we're back. Okay.
Oh my God. That's my favorite song from them. I have to...
Really?
I'm sorry, Deluxe, but... And eventually, maybe season 3 of this podcast will be 1996. Spoiler. But,
jury's still out, but
yeah,
sure.
we still have a lot of studies to read, but, Long Lost. Go listen to it. We're not going to play a clip because this is not about that album, but...
Nor that year in music history.
Yet. But go listen to Long Lost. I'm telling you. It's going to be your new favorite song.
Okay.
But yeah, Desperately Wanting also was on Friction Baby. That one was so good. And I know Kings of New Orleans was a pretty big hit as well, which was also on that one.
Wow. Yeah.
So that one had, supposedly it had 4 singles.
Okay.
As opposed to this one that had 3. So the math
sure
says that one might be bigger, but
Yeah.
Anyway.
Or it might have just been pushed harder by the label.
Mm-hmm.
To keep, it's a sort of return on investment kind of a thing.
Yeah. True. But I still would say in my heart that this is their best album.
Yeah.
For me, it's better than Friction Baby because I like 3 to 4 of the songs instead of I only like 2 songs from Friction Baby.
Mm-hmm.
What about you?
Yeah, I mean it has to be their best, I think.
Yeah. Cool.
So I mentioned I thought Good was a little overplayed, and you disagree.
I disagree.
Okay.
I could listen to it 24/7.
You think it? I'll say it anyway. You think it's that good? Okay.
It wasn't. I get it. I get how someone could see that it was overplayed, but for me, it wasn't.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know why or how or whatever. Maybe just because it isn't like a hard rock, heavy or fast like I usually want to keep hearing over and over forever. I just have this sort of memory of like, oh yeah, probably the same reaction when you were like, hey, let's go see them live.
Yeah.
In 20 years ago. And going like, oh, okay. But then I heard it and I never turned it off.
Yeah.
Listening to it a few times this week. So
I know.
Yeah.
See?
Okay.
I bet you it's good.
Thank you.
I did it. Final thoughts? Do you have any?
Yeah. I mean, I think go check it out if you haven't heard it start to finish.
Yeah.
I want to say chances are maybe you haven't. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they're not like Radiohead. They're not Alanis Morissette. They're not Foo Fighter level.
That was great foreshadowing. Yeah, they didn't have that zeitgeist penetration.
Right. So I don't know if a lot of people have heard this full album, but I do recommend it.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So agree on that.
What about rating?
Rating. I think I'd give it a 90 out of 95.
Okay.
Yeah. What about you?
I have it as an 85 out of 95.
Oh.
Only because I was a little disappointed by that back third, maybe.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because it was like, I mean, it starts out so good and then goes into good and then, et cetera, et cetera.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, I want something else as vibrant as that earlier parts. And then it kind of ends with some slower songs.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, that kind of just let me down a little bit.
Yeah.
So that's my rationale.
Mm-hmm. Cool.
Well, I think that'll do it for this week. Thank you all for listening. Make sure to follow us on social. We're at Greatest Music Pod, all your favorite social platforms of choice.
Yeah, and tell us, once you go listen to this, what your favorite songs are from this album. We'd love to hear from you, and give us a follow and a rating, please, if you haven't already, on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Pocket Casts.
And stay tuned for next week, where we'll be covering The Bends by Radiohead.
Nice.
See you next week.